We all love video games, right? As a man of culture myself, I've grown on video games. I've been playing video games since my childhood. As I was researching about old video games, retro video games, I found out about a game called Crow 64, and I wanted to buy it. I went on a hunt for this game. I didn't find the game. I found much more darker than that. I'm gonna tell you a story about a suicide, a death, and a game that never existed. On October 15th, 2020, a man named Adam Butcher made a video named What Happened to Crow 64, sparking a conversation about an unreleased platformer game, Catastrophe Crow. There is a deep story behind why the game never came to existence, and it all starts from a creator. Manfred Lorenz was an illustrator and developer from Germany at Opus Interactive. The game was inspired by a drawing his daughter made of a crow. The game was announced back in 1997. It was advertised as Eternal Revival System. Game was hyped up to released in 1999 but never seen a day of light. As employees of Opus requested Lorenzo to release the game, saying, "Think of the player," Lorenzo replied, "The player is gone." Lorenzo used to work on the never to be released game day and night, refusing to go home. Meanwhile, his wife left him with his son. One day, Lorenzo went missing along with the computer equipment from Opus, later to be found at the coast of Germany. He left behind a note written in German with a number and a drawing of a crow at the top. The letter translates, "Martha, you were always in the right and remain it till the last day. It's impossible to look into people's head to decode their behavior, to find out why are we so cruel to one another. We both did what we thought was right, and yet we could accuse one another of insanity. You have only taken from me, and I from you, so the world can remain open. My path is set in place. I have finally." Martha was his wife. So what happened? What led Lorenzo to commit suicide? We have the biggest evidence he made himself: the game. As I informed about a video was made by Adam Butcher, he found a copy of Crow 64 on eBay. Someone found it on his attic and put it on eBay for 11 euros. Adam plays the game in the video, and there is a lot to analyze. We have gameplay from Adam's video. Everything feels normal.
Let's see. This actually seems to be working. I can jump. Yeah, it's got the cool triple jump that was in the demo. All right, let's see what's in here, I guess.
Until he reaches the top level, when he jumps into a computer. He teleports to a place where a crow seems to be working on a computer, and bunch of numbers scrolling on screen. When the player tries to interact with a crow, a text bubble pops up, bunch of gibberish, and the game crashes and jumps back to a glimpse of a house, then resetting back to the beginning of the game. The game turns incredibly weird from here. You can see another crow walking to the office building while you are walking into it. Even in the office, the computer portal is gone. Suddenly, a phone rings from another room, which you can't be interacted. We see an older looking crow walking on the sideway. By following the older crow, the player clips through a wall into oblivion, where all the sound is cut out. A figure is seen in the distance of the void, as approaching looks like a boat and the older crow with a computer in his hand. As the player goes closer, the old crow jumps into the water with a computer and drowns, which actually references the death of Lorenzo. The game was telling the story of Lorenzo. It was just a beginning. As I informed in the video, Lorenzo had a daughter, and the game was actually inspired by her drawing. Her name was Thea. She died from a brain injury, which is implied by the game when the player tries to walk down the stairs in this part of the game, and the game glitches. There you see the textures changing to her brain scan. Also, the glitch looks like the player is falling down the stairs, which could be implied as his daughter falling down the stairs. Also, at the end of the video, the roles change as the old crow enters the house, walks upstairs into the room, looks like a child's room, and there is a drawing on the wall which proves that the room is Thea's. As the camera pans to left, we see a crow on a bed trying to survive. But suddenly, she's dead. It makes a lot of sense since the game was actually inspired by her drawing. If you put everything together, the player is Thea, and when Lorenzo said the player is gone, he was talking about his daughter's death. In the game, as she goes into the office and enters the computer portal, which is actually the game, and meets her father, Lorenzo, making a game. When approached, the gibberish actually means something. Here comes the next part of the video. Ciphers. The game switches language between. Here you can see the menu is in English and later changes to gibberish. Here we can find the code means by picking alphabets and replaced by codes. Using Visionaire Cipher, we can decipher the codes in the game. I forgot to mention, there's a whole community behind the game trying to puzzle this shit. They named the cipher Crow Language. They made a website, I linked it below. Check out where you can decipher cipher words yourself. When you decipher the letters, you get I am in hell. At the beginning of the game, you can see there is a page. After deciphering it, it says, Dearest Thea, I'm sorry I could not be with you in the end. I was too afraid. I ran. And now I'm in hell. What I made myself. I dreamed of you playing this game one day, but you never will. Please forgive me, my little crow. Explaining the fact that she's no more. But remember the numbers on the suicide note: 30781354841. When you decipher it with Thea, it says it's not for you. When you do it with Crow, it says for other kin. When you do it with Nils, it says Nils, I'm alive. Who is Nils? Remember when I said Lorenzo had a son? The copy was left for him to find. But why? Is Lorenzo alive? What about the lake and drowning? It, it doesn't make sense. Remember when I said eternal revival system? Yeah, it means a rebirth. If we put two and two together, we get the story something like this. Lorenzo made the game with the intent to give Thea a rebirth with the game. But it turned out that Lorenzo put himself in the game by drowning himself in the water, with the computer creating the eternal revival system. Lorenzo is in the game. If you search Catastrophe Crow on YouTube, you see I'm not the only one talking about it. But if you come close to seeing some game footage uploaded by these people, they were uploaded before Adam's video, which is surprising because we thought there was only one copy of the game and Adam bought it. But like there was another copy. But if you go into the about page of these accounts, you'll find a mail ID. If you try sending anything to this mail ID, it won't work because the ID doesn't exist. But if you take all four of the emails, found them individually on these channels, and put them together, you get this ID: N64 EM90 SRGFRN 64 LLL 3D PNZ @gmail.com. After checking, the user with the ID was named ML. Seems like an acronym for Manfred Lawrence. When the community got to know, they were really quick to ask questions. My dearest boy, after all these years, I have much to say. Your birthday isn't too far from now. I hope we can meet the day after in the place we holidayed every year. Looks like this man is finding Niels. After the community wanted more information, they impersonated Niels. I'm sorry I want to take a leap of faith, but the chasm flows ever wider. There are too many praying eyes. I need proof that you are who you are. You would not have forgotten your birth date. Failing many times to convince, others tried to interact with him as a different people. They tried being his wife, a co-worker, and as a fan of the game.
Hey, I heard you, the creator of Catastrophe Crow 64. I'm playing the game on my channel and having a blast. Hey, Mind if I ask few questions? The game is acting a little strange.
Fred, whatever I create, I can no longer control. To another email someone did impersonating as one of the gameplay uploader. N64LLL sends to ML. Hello, I'm N64 Long Lost Low. I've been recently playing one of your games, Catastrophe Crew, on my channel, and it's pretty fun. It reminded me of numerous other platformers, but it's bigger, better than them. And lower. Another creation running by itself. So Manfred admitted that he created these accounts.
Someone was recently selling a development copy of Crow 64 on the site eBay. 2 weeks ago. For details, it had a label with numerous dates on the bottom and it had Crow written in with a Sharpie on the top. I was about to buy it, but someone bought it before me, right after I discovered the eBay page. To be exact, here's a screenshot I took before they bought it. Would you happen to know the information about who bought it or the seller? Really, just any information you happen to know about the cartridge sold on eBay. If so, please share the information with me. Thanks.
So he never received it. Huh. It's all so long ago now. Long lost. So the copy was for someone intended. Niels. It was for Niels. Since Adam bought it, Niels will never get the copy. Why? Because I have not been honest with you guys. As I mentioned, Adam Butcher. He's a filmmaker. And all of this is a part of an ARG, an alternative reality game. Nothing ever existed. It's all an act of fiction created by Adam and his brother Luke. But even if we take the case of it being fake, it still supports the story narrative. Niels will never get the copy because it never existed. Thanks for watching.